Zel Boy Army, welcome to another spicy one on the channel. We have Ilkay Gundogan. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Gundogan. We've got his player of the month, but his second player of the month card. We've had two players really who've kind of dominated the player of the month this year. Bruno Fernandes, or I prefer just calling Bruno Fernandes, but yeah, FIFA seem to have a different pronunciation. And then second half of the season, we had Ilkay Gundogan of Man City. Maybe not the most super card you can expect, but the card we've got today is a pretty decent looking one, so let's get into the video. So here we are with Mr. Ilkay here. This is his card. The SBC itself, this time it requires 2, an 80 rated, which is basically nothing, and an 84 rated. These SBCs cost combined at the moment, according to Footbin, 87,000 coins. In this video, basically, I'm just going to go through, talk about this card, the cost, compare him to some other options in the league, and just generally discuss, do I think he's worth it? Would I pick him up? And talk about all that type of stuff. So, 87k, not a lot. I mean, the 80 rated squad, that'll probably cost 10k, and you'll probably have a lot of untradeable stuff that can take it away. So really, it's just this SBC, the 84 rated, that's going to cost a little bit. And if you have some untradeable fodder, it is not going to be expensive anyway. It's just, is he worth it? So, straight away, German, pretty good on the game. Germany links to some of the pretty good Bayern Munich players like Goretzka and Kimmich, so you've got a link there to link him into other leagues. If you had the flashback cruise, you can link in there. Obviously, though, the main links that we're bothered about here are his Manchester City links. Premier League's good as well, but his Manchester City links, some pretty good players there. We've got Sterling, Mahrez, Kyle Walker, De Bruyne, Cancelo, the future star Ruben Diaz. So this Gundogan is a pretty solid link. His chemistry, whilst he's not got many insane strong links other than the Man City players, he's a pretty good option to use. 4-star, 4-star, 5'11", high medium. For me, I don't really care too much about the work rates, but 4-star, 4-star for a centre mid's pretty ideal. We do like the look of that. When we look at the card, it is a pretty well-rounded card. It is just a little bit slow. If this card had 85 pace and more, this would be like a hell yeah, definitely do it instantly type of thing, especially at the price they've put it at. But it's just a bit slow. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. The pace, a 74 pace card in March does put me off a bit. I will say that pace, probably the least important position other than keeper for it on the game, is probably like a centre mid or a CDM. You can't really get away with it at centre back because of the through balls. You can't get away with full back because of the through balls. Obviously, on the wing and striker, you kind of need the pace to be able to get in behind. So you can get away with Gundogan's pace a little bit more because of that. And he does have some pretty nice stats in the key areas. His shooting is all round good enough that when he gets a shot, you can say he's fairly reliable. If you get a hunter on him, he becomes very good at shooting. But you might want a shadow on him. That's the debate. His passing's elite. 90 plus on the key passing stats. Crossing and free kicks don't really matter. But he's got 90 plus on the other 4. His dribbling is solid. It's good enough, especially with 5'11", that he will feel pretty good on the ball. He isn't going to feel like a Lionel Messi on the ball. But he's got very nice, well-rounded dribbling stats, which will make him feel good in game. His defending is solid. The 3 key defending stats are interceptions, defensive awareness, and standing tackle. Those are all very high. And then his physicals are now at the point where, yes, he's not going to be a destroyer and just absolutely bully people, but he's pretty decent. I do wish his stamina was a bit higher, though. Like, the physical stats on this game are always going to be important. Stamina, pace, aggression, strength are all pretty important. And the strength and aggression being around, that's okay. Stamina, I would have liked mid to high 80s. Pace, I would have liked at least 80. For me, just looking at the card, it's a little bit limited in some ways. But let's go compare with some of the other Premier League cards. Obviously, he's not going to get in my team, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not good. Okay, 88 Gundogan. Like, compare him to this card. It's 3 pace, 2 shoot, 2 pass, and 2 dribbling. 220. I wish they'd given him like +5 Like, even if he'd got 76 pace, 80 physical, it would start to make him a lot better. But yeah, EA don't tend to like to do that. I don't know as well. More people do the SBC. We'll get midfielders. We're not going to compare him to like the Team of the Year cards, obviously, because they're not in a similar price range. Okay, we'll compare him to De Bruyne to start with. So let me check how much this De Bruyne costs. Kevin De Bruyne is 87k. Literally the exact same price. And he's tradable, which is an advantage. So, who's actually better out of these two cards? Let's have a look. KDB is quicker. KDB has the weak foot, which is quite big. KDB is more clinical. KDB has better shooting. Gundogan will actually be a bit better on the ball, which is nice. Gundogan's defending is a lot better. And Gundogan's physical's pretty similar. I'd rather have KDB, to be honest, with stamina. To me, as a CDM, they're pretty similar because Gundogan's defending ability is quite a lot better. I would still personally prefer KDB for the better shooting and the weak foot and stamina. So I think he loses to KDB, in my opinion. I want midfielders. Bruno Fernandes will probably go. We'll go with Kante and Bruno Fernandes. It's like Kante, how much does he cost right now? Kante right now is 70k. Kante is quicker, way worse at shooting, way worse skill moves, weak foot, way worse passing, way worse on the ball, quite a lot better defending, and a lot better physical. For me, as an all-out destroyer, you might want Kante, but on this game, I prefer well-rounded midfielders. For me, this Gundogan would be a decent upgrade on Kante in a lot of teams. The last one we'll compare him to is Bruno Fernandes because he's the other pretty cheap meta midfielder now that a lot of people want. Look how many special cards Bruno's had. I've got him in I've got a Team of the Year, so I'll have to swap him like that. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno is 36k. Jeez, he's got cheap. Well, they have the same weak foot and skill moves. Bruno is quicker. The shooting, fairly similar. I'd probably take Bruno's with the extra shot power and long shots. I'd prefer Gundogan's passing. Gundogan is definitely better on the ball. Gundogan has a lot better defending. Gundogan is better physical, although Bruno does have the stamina. For me, Gundogan's card is better. So, when we look at these cards, Gundogan actually does stack up fairly well and is fairly well priced. If you have a cheapish team that you can fit into, or you're a Man City fan, and you have a bit of fodder to get this card, he is not bad. He isn't going to light up teams. He isn't going to suddenly be a mainstay in weekend league teams and be like, oh, crazy, what a card. He lacks those physical stats to ever be elite. Like I say, if they'd have given him a few more pace and physical, this card would have been looking very, very good value. But that's probably why they didn't. For me, not a bad SBC. A bit pointless in March for most people, but some people he will fit in. Appreciate you guys watching. As always, keep it spicy.